Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here. Today, we're going to talk about can we smoke weed whenever we want and still be successful? All right, so um, the clear cut answer is it depends. It depends. It depends on a number of things. It depends on yourself, it depends on your goals, it depends on your schedule, it depends on your values, it depends on your principles. And the reason why I'm making this video is because myself and many of you guys watching, one, we have an affinity for marijuana, meaning we like it, we enjoy it, it brings us value and good feelings in some way, shape, or form, right? And if you're also watching this video, you've probably used weed in a way before that may have gotten in the way of your goals or gotten in the way of you and your ability to be motivated, be organized, and be focused, right? Something like that. And so, and then on top of that, right, we look at people, maybe people in our lives who seem to smoke regularly and have a lot of success, and we're like, well, how come I can't do that, or can I do that? Or we look at people like Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa or other, celebrities who have success as far as we could see, and we've seen them smoke a lot. So it's like, okay, well, if they can do it, I should be able to do that too, right? Or at the very least, it seems like it's possible. So I'm not an expert on this topic, right? Scientifically or anything like that. I just have my experience. And for those of you who have been following this channel for a long time, you've seen my ups and downs with it, right? Where I stand today on this topic is this, and I really just want to share this with you guys. Take it or leave it. The question really isn't can we smoke whenever we want and still be successful, right? That's a fair question to ask, right? What I hear in that question is how can I be successful and still enjoy marijuana in a healthy, aligned way, right? Aligned way. And so where I want to take us is take me is what are our goals? What is it that we want, right? Put marijuana to the side for a second here. What matters to us? What matters to you? And now could be a good moment to just reflect on that question. Or if you kind of don't even know, then it is critical to figure that out. And one little side note is it's great to have goals, it's great to have wants, but if you're not really connected to those goals and desires, then trying to have discipline with weed can sometimes be a losing battle. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're someone who, okay, you're wise, you're smarting up. That's not even a word. But you're like, you know what? I've been smoking too much. Let me, I've been smoking too much and I haven't been, my goals have been dropping. I haven't been doing this. That's, I'm procrastinating. And you decide, all right, I'm gonna have discipline with weed so I can make time for productivity. That's great, right? And so, kind of like with New Year's resolutions and losing weight, it's like, all right, the first couple days, I'm on it. This feels good. Okay, yes, yes, yes. And then over time, maybe a week, a month, that juice of I want to be productive and smoke less starts to dissipate, starts to lessen and decrease. And it's like you lose track of what this is even for. And you even lose track of what you even want. Because the reality is, a lot of lofty goals, a lot of things that we want, whether it's I want to lose this many pounds and feel good and my clothes fit. I want to save this much money so I can go on this trip. I want to study and get good grades and graduate with, 3.5 GPA, 4.0 GPA, whatever it is. I want to be the best sports athlete I can and hit home runs and score goals and things like that. That takes real work. Those things take real work, real dedication, real consistency, real effort. And because of how, I don't want to say painful, right? But because of how much effort and consistency those goals take and require, just being like, I'm going to be disciplined and do it, at least for me, that is not lasting fuel. That is not sustainable fuel. And then what happens is you try and mentally, it starts off as excitement. Yes, we are gonna discipline and we are gonna productive. And that's great, right? Kind of this enthusiasm. And then that goes away. And if we don't have a real intrinsic call and motivation to achieve a goal, and it's just about, well, I said I'm not going to smoke and I need to be productive, so let's make sure we do that. That's not going to last. That for me, that has not lasted. And then it becomes this tug of war with, oh, am I gonna be disciplined or am I gonna smoke the weed? Oh, and after a week or so of this, it's like, oh, let's smoke the weed, right? And my point is that if we're not clear on what we want, why we truly want it, then we're not really connected to it on a deep emotional, spiritual, psychological level. And it makes it that much easier for things like distraction and pleasure and entertainment to replace it, because it's like, well, this is really hard and I don't even remember why I wanted it, and what's the big deal? I'm gonna smoke, right? And so all of that to say, it begins with, what do we really, really want? And let me give you an example, okay? So on my goals list is to, bare bones, it's like, I want to have 15% body fat and lose 20 pounds, right? And that's good, right? And as a metric, right? As a metric to track body fat percentage, how clothes are fitting, that is the metric that will, dictate and let me know if I'm on track. However, I can't tell you how long I've had 15% body fat as a goal. I've achieved that before, right? But like that sounds great and all, but like, who cares, right? And I'm speaking for myself and that body fat percentage goal. It's like, that sounds great, Gabe, but who cares, right? And recently I was, reflecting and just kind of piercing through this. I was like, what is this about? What am I doing, right? And I was reminded of the things that really call to me and really are my why when it comes to, because it's not about 15% body fat, although that is the symptom of what I'm looking for, right? You know what really matters to me? And again, this is just me, right? And my life lately, right? What matters to me is being able to carry luggages with ease, being able to carry groceries with ease, being able to walk upstairs with ease. What else matters to me? That my young niece and nephews look up to me as a pillar of health and strength, and that they are proud of me, right? That I'm proud of myself, right? That I represent my family and my loved ones, right? That that I can be someone that when people are looking to dial in their health and strength and well-being, that they turn to me, right? Is there a little bit of like self-pride and maybe a little bit of like ego there? Fine, right? But those things actually call to me. They actually resonate with me on a spiritual, emotional, psychological level. Those are the things I actually want. 15% body fat, that's great. If that was my main goal, I would like be disciplined and have the structure and have the plan and be like, all right, we got to do it. Make sure you do this, right? And that's valid. Like that, for some people, that energy is very powerful. For me, that doesn't really get me going, right? It's a lot of mental, a lot of like, come on, go, right? And that's good. That's valid, like I said. But what will sustain me and what will sustain many of us is actually being connected to what matters to us and the goal, right? That's involved with it. So for me, it's like, all right, well, I want to be able to carry luggages and groceries with ease. I want to be able to carry my girlfriend with ease, right? Okay. So then what does that mean? Okay, that means I need to work out probably 2-3 times a week, right? Weight training, walking, eating relatively well, protein, right? And it's funny because that same action plan would get someone to lose weight, would get someone to accomplish all kinds of goals, but because I'm connected to the goal that calls to me, that I am pulled towards, then I'm highly motivated and clear on a spiritual, emotional, psychological level on why, for example, eat a salad and not chips is the choice that will fulfill me. Okay, now bringing this all back to weed, right? Can we smoke weed? In this endeavor, can I smoke weed anytime I want? Can we smoke weed anytime we want and accomplish, for example, a getting stronger and losing weight? Okay. Again, this depends on the individual. Okay. And this is why I highly recommend tracking certain metrics to see how smoking and the frequency and the amount that you smoke per bowl, per session, per day impacts your productivity towards your true goals. Okay. And there's a lot of different things that go into this, right? Because it's not just about goals, it's also about how do I like to feel in the day? How do I like my energy to be in the day? And for me personally, will there be days where like I'll take an edible at 10 a.m.? Yeah, sometimes, right? But for example, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. today. It's 6:30 a.m. right now. I haven't taken an edible. And the reason why is because I know that, I mean, kind of a baseline is my own personal integrity. If I just like take an edible in the morning, I know that the rest of my day is going to be kind of like weird, right? Not that wake and bake or wake and edible is bad. It's just like, that's just not going to set the tone for me on a dopamine level, on like, that's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, right? My sense of clarity and sharpness and energy is way up to start the day. And using an edible would just kind of not make sense, right? Okay, and so after this, I have XYZ things to do. Again, not interested in taking the edible yet, right? And the reason is because I know what I want to do. I know why I want to do them. And I'm clear on the version of myself that I want to be so that I can perform how I want to perform in those goals in the day. And so I think the point is, I apologize for going on and on here. Okay. The point is we need to be clear on what we want and why we actually want them. It's not that I just want to lose weight and lose body fat. It's I want to be able to lift heavy things for my family, whether it's furniture or groceries, or, you know, not just for my family, but for myself, right? The other day, right, or the other week, right? Like this was before I had recently started exercising more. So I have this window in my office, right? And like it's those one of those heavy windows that, you know, you got to apply some effort to pull. I like couldn't open it, right, without like getting up and like putting myself into it. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like this is not okay. Um, you know, and um so yeah, when we actually know what we want and why we want it, then we can decide, okay, how can I put myself in the best position to do the actions that will align with this goal that calls me, right? It's all right. Well, and then maybe you're not sure, right? Maybe you're like, I don't know. Part of you probably knows, but maybe part of you needs to really see it for yourself. Track it, right? If you're someone who knows how to figure out what you want and why you want it, okay? Create your plan, your action plan. Actually have it down in the week. Okay, for example, with this exercise thing, okay, I'm gonna strength train these days. I'm gonna do cardio these days. I'm gonna be in a calorie deficit 75% of the time. All right, it's logged out. Great. Go for it then. Okay, from there, go for it. Do it however you want to. Do it however you want to do it, right? Let's say you are someone that, I actually prefer it when I smoke a little bit before a walk. Great. The whole point is for you to have what you want in life. Period. Right? To enjoy it, to have the growth, to have the fun, to have the discipline, right? All things considered. And it's on us to determine, what that looks like and how. Okay. What you also might discover is, okay, you know what? My plan was after work or after school, I was going to go straight to the gym. And what happened was I went straight home and I smoked, and I said, I'm just going to go home and smoke real quick, and then we'll go to the gym. And I didn't go to the gym. Okay. And here's another point, right? You could have for sure gone home, smoked the weed, and still gone to the gym. But if smoking weed is this thing that makes it harder to accomplish something, makes it harder to take action, makes you less sharp and less clear, so then the solutions you come up with are not as good, then that's an indication that, smoking weed actually doesn't help in this way. And so it is in my best interest and the logical, reasonable choice that if I'm gonna plan on working out after work or after school, I need to go straight to the gym. No weed. And here's the cool part. The weed's still gonna be there after, right? So just smoke after. Use the edible after, right? And it'll probably be better because then you can actually rest. You can celebrate the fact that you followed through. You can reward the fact that you follow through. Okay, so I think you guys get the picture. Apologies for the long videos. Sometimes some of these topics they need longer time to go through. So I hope this Monday or Tuesday, whenever I upload this, is treating you guys well. If any of you are interested in one-on-one coaching, consulting in anything related to weed, personal development, discipline, maybe you want help, getting clarity on what it is you want and why you want it on a deep level, please reach out to me for coaching and one-on-one consulting. My email is g.santos28@gmail.com. My Instagram is @Gabe_Santos. I'll leave both of those in the description below. Otherwise, guys, great to see y'all again. We'll talk again soon. Until then, peace.